So Super Bowl's over, and I read a number of articles leading up to Super Bowl about if the statistics around the Super Bowl and sex trafficking were inflated, if there really is a significant increase in sex trafficking around sporting events, and I think what's the most compelling for me are the individual stories of people who were rescued, or the one that was so disturbing that I read was the one of the mom in Florida who actually drove from Florida to New Jersey to traffic her daughter. And that one just made me so sick and sad. But it also showed that the demand was there around that sporting event, that this mom knew that there was a demand and then drove through all those states to traffic her daughter for money. And so I think there's an increase of a problem based on just the number of people there, alcohol, people leaving the comforts of their home. I think there's an increase around sporting events. I also agree that it is a problem 365 days of the year, and attention should be given to 365 days. I appreciate governors and attorney generals in all these different states that have hosted the Super Bowl and who've put a lot of energy into training law enforcement and doing operations ahead of time. I think that's really effective, and it absolutely needs to happen. But just more resources in general need to go to our local law enforcement to address this epidemic problem year round. So I think we can't diminish its effort just because there's not a big sporting event on that particular day. I think there's problems around big conventions and conferences, and as we can see coming up, there's other big sporting events. The Olympics in Russia, it's going to be a problem. World Cup, it's a problem. And there's all different kinds of factors that play into it, but I do think it is a problem every single day of the year, and it needs to be addressed as such. On a side note, man, I sure appreciated the halftime show at the Super Bowl this year in comparison to last year. I was so mortified. I had to turn this halftime show off last year. So I'm sitting there with my, how old was my son? He was 8 and 9, and a 10-year-old. Last year was super awkward, and this year we had a ton of people in my garage. We had a great Super Bowl party, and all young kids and ages, and we thoroughly enjoyed. So I don't know, for what it's worth, yay for family-friendly sporting event halftime shows. And it's my two thoughts. Thanks.